Potency is one of these things that has really shifted the whole dynamic around cannabis use. In the 70s, the potency was 2 to 3% THC. Nowadays, THC is somewhere between 15 and 20% at best. Dabs, vapes, pens go from 50 to 90% THC.
Imagine if you grew up drinking beer and you think it's no big deal, but what if that same beer now was actually vodka? Would that feel different? Because that's what we're talking about.
It is a $30 billion industry. And when a product is legal, that means it can be advertised and marketed. That makes kids think that it's not really risky.
The Journal of the American Medical Association found precious little evidence that there are medical applications to cannabis. Medical providers just suddenly said, we're recreational now, and dropped all their claims about medicine because they didn't need them anymore.
Availability, accessibility, belief that it's gonna do something good, all of these things come together that a teen is then gonna go out and say, hey, this is not so bad, I'm gonna try this. And then they're off to the races.
Oftentimes kids go to use substances to self-treat something that is not being met. It helps them sleep, or it helps with their anxiety, or it helps them fit in. And in actuality, they absolutely worsen all of those things.
A giant study came out in 2025 from Kaiser Permanente, and what it showed was they followed adolescents over 10 years. Those who started using cannabis who did not have a mental health disorder were significantly more likely to have anxiety, psychosis, increased suicidality, increased depression, and bipolar disorder at age 25.
Our brains are highly plastic, meaning changeable when we are young. So there's an upside to that. If you want to learn a foreign language, you will remember it longer, you will integrate it faster. The sad side of it, though, is that picking up an addiction is also easier.
We can see the direct effects of the availability, the legality, and the advertising and marketing of cannabis and the impact that that has on teens' mental health.
There was a youth listening study that was done where they asked young people about their experiences with drugs. And one participant said that it was easier to access marijuana than a safe adult to speak to. They desperately want to connect with adults and talk to adults about their lives and what's going on for them, but they're damned if they do. And it's really because we haven't made them feel safe to talk to us about drugs.
Starting from a place of curiosity, saying something like, oh my gosh, I just learned that today's cannabis is really different than what was around when I was growing up. What do you know about that? Right? And then pause, let them answer first. Sometimes parents, when they do that, are surprised at how much their teens actually know or what maybe they've already learned.
What I told my kids is, cannabis, delay, 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 delay. Do whatever you can to delay. When you're on a path and you're trying to get to a destination and you see a shortcut across the grass, if the grass is thick and it's great and you do it a few times, well, you're not going to affect the grass. But the real problem is when you're walking over seedlings. Adolescent's brain is like a seedling. It's like new grass seeds that are starting to grow. And if you step on them, it's gonna be a lot harder for them to grow back later. So parents being hyper vigilant about delaying and delaying and delaying as much as possible will give their kids a huge head start later because they have a full grassy field that they can work from.